The King James Bible, Documentaries and Readings from Radio 4. Section 1. Historian Simon Schama introduces the stories of creation, Noah and the Ark, and Sodom and Gomorrah.
400 years ago, in the spring of 1611, when the King James Bible was published by the royal printer Robert Barker, an imperishable masterpiece was born. It's the version which, for sheer poetic force, epic drive, and sensuous beauty, has defeated all attempts at vulgar modernization. Beside the King James Bible, newer versions look like manuals of plumbing. It even lodges permanently in the sensibility and memory of old Jews like me, who disbelieve much of what it says. It's the way that it says it that still rings majestically through a prosaic world. A number of English translations had been published before, the work either of fierce Protestant militants and rebels, or the opposite, men of the Church of England who wanted to pour oil on the stormy waters of religious contention. 2 decades later, Protestant exiles from Mary Tudor's English Inquisition produced the Geneva Bible that became the most cherished text of all those who veered to the more militant side of Protestantism, detesting bishops and the fancy ceremonies they believe had contaminated the Church. Caught between Catholic enemies at home and abroad, and raging Puritans, in 1568 Queen Elizabeth had authorized the so-called Bishop's Bible to contain what she imagined might boil over into religious civil war. But the Bible fury refused to die down. When King James came to the throne in 1603, he was greeted by many of his subjects as a unifier of Scotland and England and the contending Christian factions. James, as his subjects quickly learned, was, for better or worse, 2 sovereigns on one throne. There was the famously pedantic but indisputably learned king, weighty with theological and philosophical knowledge, soaked in European culture, and able to hold his own in the cut and thrust of religious debates. But there was the altogether profane James, given to squalid drunken riot, an eye for pretty boy courtiers, an enabler of nepotism and favouritism. Needless to say, it was the pious James that took a suggestion from the clergy assembled in 1604 to make a new translation and turned it into an enterprise of royal arbitration by including both Puritans and their Church of England adversaries in the 6 companies, as they were called, of translators, commissioned to produce...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?